Everyone, this is Star with Ariana Stark. This is your weekly love reading for the week 7 to 13 September 2020. Like always, I will cover all 12 sun signs in this reading, from Aries going right down to Pisces. So if you want, you can skip or have a look at the timestamp and skip the other sun signs and move to your reading. Cross watchers also welcome to have a look at the reading with respect to your lover. We'll use tarot for your overall reading, and I'll also use some oracle decks that I have. For Aries, we have the card 6 of Pentacles, and we also have the card Your Words Linger in My Mind. So immediately I'm picking up that whoever you're dealing with, or whoever you're crushing on, or maybe you have someone on your mind, so this person is definitely being reminded of you. Maybe the words which you exchange with each other, those words are going to be there, and those memories will linger. Basically, I think Aries, you should avoid temperamental behavior in your relationships, because this could have an effect. Even those words could also have an effect or have a bearing on the relationship. So be careful with your words. Oftentimes you'll be preoccupied with your thoughts of your lover in this week. Maybe sometimes some of you may also believe that it's a soulmate relationship that you share. I think I'm also picking up that some of you may be torn between your family and your lover. Maybe there are limitations which are there, and you believe that such a choice should not have been there in the first place. For single Aries, I'm also picking up that there could be unwanted attention coming your way, but somebody who's also had an effect on you. Maybe you would want to spell it out that you don't want anything to do with them. Maybe you think that you're stringing him along, so you want to convey that you have moved from there, and you don't want this person to be hopeful of any relationship, of having any relationship with you. But I think you will stop yourself because somebody around you, maybe your confidant, could ask you not to do so. Those who are romancing, I think you'll exchange sweet nothings. Maybe whatever you convey to your person, that person will definitely be reminded of you because of the sweet words that you convey. Maybe I think some of you may also be planning to make a trip to be with your beloved, or maybe you will be going on date nights and all. On the other hand, those who are married, I think sometimes you may find yourself being at the receiving end, or maybe you feel that you're being blamed for no fault of yours. And besides, I think those harsh words, like I said, which could be exchanged, could have a relationship, have a bearing on the relationship. Maybe you need to get out from this toxic relationship or abusive relationship. Basically, love doesn't mean that you treat each other badly. So like I said, Aries, you should be mindful of your words. From Aries, I'll move to Taurus. For Taurus, I have the card 5 of Cups, and I also have the card I need more time to figure things out. In this week, I think Taurus, maybe you may be reading up on a soulmate relationship in case you have someone on your mind, or in case you're crushing on someone. But you also have those thoughts which you think, you may be questioning yourself also because of the relationship is not making any headway. Still, I think for many of you, love is in the air, and several members of the opposite sex will be attracted to you. Perhaps you could have a look at the body language, and that could in itself convey a lot to you. Maybe some of them will also talk loudly, expecting you to have a look at them. Other than that, I think those who are crushing on someone, I think nature will give you signs, and you may think that there's some future in this relationship, but then right now there's no communication. So you may wonder whether there's any future in this relationship, like I said. So I need more time to figure things out could be reflective of or maybe conveying whatever you're going through right now. Those who are romancing, I think you will exchange love notes, or there'll be phone calls, but then you should also be careful because there'll be prying eyes. Like this lady here, she's hiding. So maybe you need to keep the relationship hush-hush, so you'll be careful about that others don't get wind of it. On the other hand, those who are already married, I think your spouse could be a bit alarmed. Maybe because he worries about your whereabouts, or maybe he's very overly protective because there are enemies or there are foes who are out to sabotage his love, his interests. So this is why he wants you to convey to you, he wants you to make him aware of your whereabouts in case you're going out or you're going outdoors. Those who are in an estranged marriage or those whose marriage is on the rocks, I think maybe you'll have a heated exchange with your partner, or you may even talk about moving out. I think some kind of distance is there which can be bridged and which needs to be bridged for this for healing to take place. For Gemini, from Taurus I will move to Gemini. For Gemini I have the card 8 of Swords, and I also have the card I feel damaged, like I just can't do this. I think some kind of negative energy is definitely affecting this relationship which you are going through. Maybe there'll be times when you're having good exchanges, but then there's also going to be that kind of negative vibration which is there, which could affect your relationship, or your ill health could also be a factor in this. Maybe in case you're in an on-again, off-again relationship, I think Geminis, you should reach out to your person, and maybe you will not be disappointed. Sometimes even those who are already married, I think it could be a bit oppressive. Maybe you feel damaged because of whatever your circumstances are. You think that you're always being criticized, or you're always being at the receiving end. You may also believe that your spouse is neglecting you or ignoring you. From Gemini, I'll move to the 4th sign, which is Cancer. For Cancer, I have the card 4 of Cups. And I also have the card, I'm not the same person that you remember. So Cancerians, even for you, I'm picking up that maybe there's some kind of a separation in the relationship. Those who are already romancing, I think you'll have good conversation. Maybe you want to show that you're witty enough, or that you're intelligent enough. If in case you're working together, maybe you want your partner to understand how talented and gifted you are. Basically, you'll be discussing work-related issues, but then sometimes you may also feel that the person is impressed by your credentials, or by your qualities, or your good working abilities, but then there are times also when you feel that it's not enough. You may also feel that your partner is not ready to commit. Maybe you want to let your family elders or everybody know that you're already in a committed relationship, or you may want to come clean about your romance, but then this person may be having cold feet. On the other hand, I think those who are single also, you can find that a particular person who's crushing on you, he may want to get acquainted with your family members, or though maybe you have made it clear that you're not interested or you're disinterested. I think Cancerians, you should also be careful, because there's going to be unwanted attention. Even lewd passes could be made at you, or there could be stalkers as well. Those who are married, I think you would want your spouse to oblige you. Maybe you need to be patient, because what you want to get done, you need to understand that the person may not be quick to react. So that is why you could be a bit put out. Maybe you think that his attitude is suspect, or that he's not understanding the gravity of the situation that you're in. I think sometimes we have to grin and bear if we want to have our way. Those of you who are in an extramarital relationship, I think you could get all worked out, because maybe your lover's spouse is going to return, or there's going to be somebody around you. So that means the conversation or communication that you're having will dry up, or maybe it could be under this could cause you a lot of stress. I'm not the same person that you remember. In case you are in a relationship which is an on and off again relationship, or in case the relationship is going through those bad moments, that you want to remind the person that he cannot take you for granted, that you have moved on from that kind of a situation and relationship. This was Cancer. From Cancer, I will move to Leo. For Leo, we have the card 6 of Wands. And I also have the card, I've looked you up online to see what you've been up to. I think you'll be coming across as somebody who's very attractive, and or you may look at your lover as someone who's has a go-getter attitude, and who's in the spotlight, or who's always up and about. Certainly there'll be marriage proposals which are going to come your way for single Leos, but then maybe you are disinclined because you think that your pockets aren't too deep. Maybe you also fear commitment, so you need to work up on your dating skills. Maybe the person also is from a different background, so that could create a bit of a hassle for you and you don't think that there's compatibility. Whatever it is, there will be attention coming your way. Those who are single, that is, and those who are already romancing, I think you can expect sexual tension in the relationship. Maybe you will be very excited and you will be going through the messages or text messages could be exchanged in this week. I think many Leos will also be demanding commitment from your partner. Maybe you'll have a frank discussion with the person. In case there's separation of some kind, or in case you have someone on your mind and there's no communication, then I think cyberstalking is also a big factor in this week with respect to your relationship, because I've looked you up online to see what you've been up to. For some of you, those who have someone on your mind, I think the person may be interested more in religion and spirituality, and this could be a bit of a dampener for you. Maybe you think there's no future in this relationship. Married Leos, I think you should avoid meddlesome behavior. Maybe your spouse thinks that you need to not be giving him free advice. Whatever it is, when your partner is in a good mood, he'll definitely make allowances for you. And you may wonder what has affected this transformation. Marital infidelity could also be a factor in this relationship. So maybe you need to maintain your distance from members of the opposite sex so that there's no one points a finger at you. Let's move to Virgo. For Virgo, I have the card 3 of Cups. It's a happy card. And I also have I can't handle your words right now. Though it's a happy card, I can't handle your words right now. Maybe the person you're dealing with, or this person is being reminded of the communication you have had in the past, or maybe there'll be a verbal exchange with your partner, and this person may not be able to handle the words you let out. I think those who are crushing on someone, those Virgos who have someone on their mind, maybe you will think that this person is always playing love guru, but then his whole love life is, or his whole personal life is all muddled up. Those who are in an on-again, off-again relationship, I think you can expect to hear from that special someone or that person, but then maybe you should not read too much into it because these are early days. Although the channels of communication have opened, but then the ball is in the person's court. Romancing Virgos, I think you'll enjoy dinner dates, or there'll be free-flowing conversation. Maybe you want this feeling to last forever. On the other hand, those who are in married, or there could also be a third-party situation also for many of you. So in case you're in that kind of a situation, you should watch out. Maybe you should avoid disagreements with your partner, or with your wife, or your spouse, that is. Sometimes the person may think that, or you may think that the person is taking spites on you unnecessarily. It doesn't help if you're always complaining about the situation, or if your partner is always complaining about the situation. So this card here, I can't handle your words right now, so try not to be acting like a whining schoolboy, that is, and try to be more accommodating. Let's move to Libra. For Libra, we have the card 7 of Pentacles. And I also have the card, I don't know how I feel anymore. Many Librans, I think you will be wondering about the status of the relationship. Maybe you want commitment, or you desire commitment from the person. Maybe you have also had made plans with the person, but then the person may get cold feet towards the end. So disagreements are quite possible for Librans in any romantic connection, or in case you're already married. Those who are in an on-again, off-again relationship, I think you will want to rekindle the romance. Maybe you will also be overcome with nostalgia. Maybe you think that you had your chances with the opposite sex, but then you did not act on them, or maybe you didn't work on it and you didn't proceed with the relationship. Certainly, I think many Librans will leave your admirers disappointed. Besides, I think you have your limitations and you know it won't work, so you're going to put it off. Push love to the back, or you will keep these thoughts away. On the other hand, romancing Librans, I think you'll be exchanging sweet nothings, or you may be reading extracts from books or poems. Maybe you'll be discussing literature, or even work-related strategies also going to be discussed this week. I think Librans, you should not come across as being someone who's very distant. Maybe you should be more romantic. So it will help. I mean, the meaningful exchange that you have with your partner will definitely help to cement the relationship. But like I said, you may be concerned because your partner may get cold feet with respect to commitment. So you may wonder what about the future of the relationship. So this card, I don't know how I feel anymore, may hold true for some Librans. For Scorpio, I have the card 8 of Wands, and I also have the card, if I knew then what I now know, I would have made different choices. I think you may be a bit caught up, or maybe you may be thinking about your exes, or maybe you will be thinking about your past relationships in this week. Definitely attention is coming your way from the opposite sex. Maybe your social circle is going to widen this week. That is why the possibility that you're out there could mean that you're open to romance from others. But then you should also be mindful that there could be unwanted attention also coming your way. Those who are crushing on someone, I think you will continue to cyberstalk your crush. Maybe you are secretly in love. And though he is just a phone call away, but then you may hold yourself back, or you may retreat and withdraw into a shell. For some of you, I'm also picking up that your loved ones may ask you to, or may dissuade you from forming an attachment with this person. On the other hand, romancing Scorpions, I think there'll be brief but profound conversations with your lover. Maybe even the romantic weather could make both of you very romantic, or make both of you even nostalgic. I think many of you will also be discussing the problems that you have at work or within the family also. Those issues could also come up in your relationship in this week. On the other hand, married Scorpions, I think you should be more tolerant of your partner. Perhaps you may accuse your wife or your spouse of neglecting you, but then it is unfair, as you should keep in mind that your spouse is also doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work, and you should understand that she has a lot to deal with, or that is why it's not possible always to be attending to your needs. Why should you always complain about an unhappy marriage? And you should appreciate the thoughtfulness when your partner makes an attempt to make the relationship work. Basically, you need to appreciate the gestures, because these small things make a huge difference in any relationship. Let's move to Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, we have the card Empress. Certainly, you're coming across as someone who's very drool-worthy this week. Maybe you have so many suitors, those who think that you're a beautiful lady who's very nurturing and who's full of love. Am I good enough for you? So much so that because you're coming across as someone so beautiful, the person in question may be thinking wondering whether he or she is good enough for you. Certainly, you are very irresistible. Your personal magnetism is also going to be at its peak in this week. But I think Sagittarians, you may also leave people heartbroken. Somebody may also talk about unrequited love in case the person has a huge corner for you. Whatever it is, this person is definitely going to be hopeful that in future maybe the two of you will be a couple. Marriage proposals may also come your way from those who are single Sagittarius or single Archers. Maybe you should not make too much of it, because I think your family elders may not be happy with the proposal in question, maybe from a dating site also. I think for some of you also, a former colleague or maybe a worker or friend could also renew his affections for you, but you're disinterested. Those who have someone on the mind, I think because you're coming across as someone who's full of love, and although you may want to express your feelings also, but then maybe others around you, especially the person whom you confide in, the person could say that you needn't be so explicit. Perhaps you can send a short message to the person expressing a desire to form an acquaintance or to be friends with the person. That could help your cause. Those who are romancing, I think you'll enjoy future fruitful exchange with your partner. Maybe you want to impress him with your credentials or with your intelligence. So that means that you're always going to make an effort to match his wits. Married Sagittarians, I think you will be in a romantic mood, no doubt. Maybe you need to sing songs to each other. And sometimes your partner, you may come across as being quite crabby, but then even your partner may also say that you need to limit your interactions with the opposite sex. Some of you, I think you'll also be dealing with somebody who's your spouse, maybe in a relationship with outside of marriage as well, but you may not be aware of the same. So marital infidelity could also be a factor. Capricorns, we have the card Page of Swords. And I also have the card, I feel a special bond with you that I've never felt before. Certainly Capricorns, you will be cyberstalked. Somebody is watching over you. The person definitely feels that the bond he shares with you, he has never felt like that with anybody else. The opposite sex will definitely try to impress you. Sometimes you may think that the person whom you have on your mind, maybe this person whom you are eyeing or whom you are watching from behind the scenes, maybe like you're having a look at what he's doing, what he's up to on social networking sites. You may think that this person is sometimes coming across as someone who's someone who's got very deep thoughts, but sometimes he may also be coming across as very silly. Some Capricorns may also hear from an ex-flame. Maybe he will reconfirm his feelings, but then you have definitely moved on. Even those who are crushing on someone, I think there's a possibility that even you may reach out to the person. Basically, you want to put an end to the ambiguity that is surrounding your relationship. Maybe you should remain as friends. Those who are married, I think you'll be dealing with a suspicious partner or suspicious spouse. Male Capricorns, I think you should stop being intolerant of your partner. Maybe you should be more romantic. Again, those who are in an extramarital relationship, I think you need to be more than careful, because your relationship could be, your hush-hush relationship or your third-party situation could be all out in the open, and that could create disagreements or discord in your relationship or marriage. Let's move from Capricorns to Aquarius. For Aquarius, we have the card Nine of Cups. And I also have the card, I wish I had told you how much you really meant to me. I think this is for someone who's crushing on someone, maybe Aquarians, those who are in love with someone, maybe thinking of writing a note to your person, but then these are early days. Maybe you will stop yourself, maybe you think you will do so at a future date. Some of you may be feeling that maybe you should have spelled out your feelings long ago instead of repressing them. There's also going to be opposition to your love life from family members. Those who are romancing, I think you'll have good exchange with respect to work, or you may be discussing issues. But your family members could be suspicious of your growing attachment with this special someone. Married Aquarians, I think you may be fretting over your spouse's decision at work. Maybe you think that he needn't be so greedy, or maybe he should have made some allowances for his clients, and because he could have pocketed some money. This could irk you a bit. You may also have to deal with a suspicious partner. Maybe there's somebody, marital infidelity could also rock the marriage boat this week between 7 to 13 September, that is. The 12th sign, we'll move to Pisces, that's last but not the least. For Pisces, we have the card Death. And I also have the card, I can't give up on my responsibilities right now. So certainly there are issues or there are limitations in the relationship which are going to be evident this week. I think unwanted attention from the opposite sex is quite likely for many Pisces this month. This is a period which will bring in a lot of changes in your love life. So you need to embrace the changes. Maybe this person whom you're dealing with has a lot of responsibilities and that needs attention. So maybe love could take a back seat this week. Sometimes you may also feel that your partner is not as demonstrative, or this could leave you a bit confused. Maybe at times you exchange good messages, but then he goes quiet, or there's a wall between both of you. I think the health of a loved one could also be a cause for concern for many Pisces this week. Maybe you have to be the caregiver. Those who are married, I think you may find yourself being made the scapegoat for no rhyme or reason, and this leaves you a bit annoyed and irked as well. Whatever it is, single Pisces, I think admirers are definitely going to be madly in love with you and they'll continue to woo you, but then you have your limitations for sure, and that's why you don't think that it's good to string anyone along. Whatever it is, you could find your loved ones wanting to play matchmaker, or they want to play Cupid. I hope everyone you liked your reading. This is Tarot with Ariana Stark. Please give us your feedback in the comment section. We have also got the forecast, which is the monthly forecast, which is published before the month commences. So have a look at that as well to get insight with respect to your month for every sun sign. This is Ariana Stark signing off. Take care. Bye till the next time.